ProMT's web-enabled enterprise automated translation solution comes in two flavors, with and without web services. The solution with web services is called PTS-DE, which stands for ProMT Translation Server Developers Edition. The solution with web services allows PTS to communicate with other applications. In this video, we will look at two such examples, as well as the means with which this communication takes place. In this case, the XLIF web services. First, let's start off with an end product, an end solution where PTS is already integrated. In this case, we're going to be looking at the Autolot24 website. It's an automotive web market that allows to sell cars to three different groups speaking three different languages: English, German, and Russian. Currently, the website is in English, and with one simple click of a button, we're going to click German, and we're going to get our translation within a fraction of a second. The same thing happens when we go to the combo box and click Russian. Again, the website will refresh, and we'll see all of the content now in Russian. Now, what's actually happening here behind the scenes, under the hood, if you will? The website appeals to the ProMTTranslation Server, PTS, gets the translation from it, and publishes it. This is something that the end user doesn't see. But let's actually take a look at what it is that's going on. So let's take a look at our ProMTTranslation Server. Here is my text that I'm going to translate. Notice the direction of translation, English to Spanish, our topic template or profile, which is general. These items will come into play when we talk about our web services. I'm going to simply press the translate button, and now I have my translation. Now, let's see if we can reproduce the same thing in web services, because that's actually our means of communicating with the end user client applications. So in our case, we're going to be talking about the XLIF web service, and in essence, it looks like this. We have a direction ID. In this case, this number, 2097153, is responsible for the translation of English into Spanish. Here is our topic template or profile, general, that you'll recall from the previous screen. We have the same text that we're going to translate, and in this case, the file type is text XLIF because we're using the XLIF web service. So in essence, the only item that's changeable here, that's dynamic if you will, is the text, the string that gets changed every single time. As long as we're translating from English to Spanish and we're using the same web services and the same topic template or profile, the first three parameters will remain the same. Now, if I press invoke, you'll see that within a second, I'm going to get exactly the same translation that I did as in the ProMTTranslation Server. So this, in essence, is proof of how the web service works. Now, let's take a look at this web service embedded into a globalization management system, an end-user application called SDL EDM World Server. So here the same thing happens. We're going to have a general topic template and a URL where PTS is housed, and finally, we're going to have the translation. Here is my text. I would press translate. I've already done this just so we don't have to wait. And here is our translation from English into Spanish. And you'll note, if we do the round trip here, that this translation is exactly the same as we had in ProMTTranslation Server. It was exactly the same translation that we received when we tested the web services. And finally, again, for consistency's sake, it's exactly the same translation that we get in the end user application. Thank you very much, and this concludes our presentation for ProMT's web-enabled enterprise automated translation solution with web services, in this case, the XLIF web service.